So this video, I'm going to be discussing a dream that God gave me, as well as, having babies out of wedlock. Like, God can communicate with you whatever he sees fit. So God gave me this dream where I was talking to another girl that I knew from college who had just recently had a baby out of wedlock. And I was talking to her and I was like, yeah, well, it's too late for us. We have babies out of wedlock, but we can use this experience to minister to young girls and let them know how important it is to wait until a marriage to have sex. I was in like a room full of like young girls and women, and I was like, God wants me to talk to girls about waiting until marriage to have sex. And so I now know that, ministering to women especially is a part of my purpose. And I look at my life now, and the responsibility of actually being a single mother is so, it's so much. I'll be like, yes, I can use my life as a ministry for sure. If you do not know what fornication is having sex before a marriage. Pretty much doing anything sexual outside of a marriage covenant. And God said that, every sin that a man does is outside of his body, but fornication is actually a sin against your own body. A lot of things can come from fornication, as we know. STDs, babies out of wedlock with, wrong partners, and soul ties. So I'm going to talk about pretty much having a baby out of wedlock. So, having a baby, as you know, it's a blessing. Like, babies, they're beautiful. It's definitely a blessing. I have young girls, and I know how I was before I had my baby. I looked at the baby, it's like, oh, it's just so cute. Like, I want a baby. God always sends me dreams. I had a dream, right? And God speaks in like symbols too. So he uses a lot of like symbols in your dreams. So you'll dream about something and it'll seem so random, but then you can like go look up like the meaning of this dream, and then it might tell you like, what it actually meant. So I actually dreamt about something. I don't remember what it was, but I remember when I looked it up, it said that I was underestimating the responsibility of being a parent. I kid you not. Because I remember while I was pregnant, I would just imagine my baby just laying in my bed, and I was like, oh, that is going to be so bad. And oh boy, was I wrong. I definitely underestimated the responsibility. Oh my goodness, it is a lot. It's from the time you get up, from the time the baby gets up, to the time he wants to go to sleep, to when he wants to wake up during the night. You're responsible for all of his meals, feeding him. If he gets sick, you have to take care of him. If he wants to cry in the middle of the night, wake you up. It doesn't matter if you have anything to do tomorrow. Yeah, so the responsibility is crazy. He'll take his diaper off, it'll be boo-boo on the floor. That's just one percentage of it. Or he'll fall and hurt himself. The stress of that, trying to make sure, because now he likes to climb on the bed. I have to it's so stressful trying to make sure he doesn't fall off. I'm whew, the gist of it is the responsibility is so much that you need to wait until you're in a marriage. You need to wait until it's your God-ordained spouse and that you're in a covenant with someone. And that's not to say that, marriages don't end in divorce sometimes, but that's why I emphasize on the God-ordained spouse, waiting until, God reveals the one to you. And then you have a baby when God sees it fit, because if you have a baby before it's time and you have a baby with the wrong person, your life is going to be so much harder. That's not to say that, things are impossible to get done or nothing like that. It definitely makes you more, you have to be more organized. You have to be more responsible. You have to, get up at earlier times. You have to make sure this stuff is getting done. So it definitely motivates you more. But the responsibility of it, I kid you not, every day I have my moments where I just be like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I have those moments, and I be knowing that it's because I did not wait until, a marriage, until it was my God-ordained spouse, and I procreated with someone who wasn't gonna be around to help me with the responsibility of a child, which is a two-parent responsibility. I'm emphasizing this. Wait until you're married. And I'm saying this because too, I know that now it's a trend. Everybody's having a baby out of wedlock, and it's the norm now. And I remember before I had my baby, I knew baby mama culture was so, raging. I'm like, everybody is a baby mama. Like, does nobody value marriage? And I remember my thought process though when I got pregnant. I was like, well, baby isn't that bad. It's just a baby. Like, I might, end up being with this person. At the time we were together, but I knew his track record and all of that, so I ended up having to leave him while I was pregnant, and so it just wasn't a good situation to be bringing a baby in. But I want to emphasize that even if your situation appears to be good, a lot of women find that when they have a baby with someone, that's when that guy switches up. I would say in my case, it was foolish because he showed me so many true colors before I got pregnant, and I still got pregnant. And so now I know that what I go through is like, just reaping what I sow. Until God brings my spouse, I'm okay with being alone and figuring it out and becoming a better woman and a better mother to my child. You don't want to take that type of chance and then you still end up, wanting to be a single mother because he's not, treating you how you should be treated now that you're about to be the mother of his child. And I just feel like, ladies, I'm ministering to you. The responsibility of having a child is not a joke. It's not a game. Everybody sees my kid and they be like, oh, he's so cute. He's beautiful. He's perfect. Yeah. But he's also crazy. He's just a very active toddler. He keeps you on your toes. It's from the time he gets up to the time he goes to sleep. If he wakes up in the middle of the night, and it's all on me. It's all on me as the mom. And so, I just want to really let you guys know, wait until marriage. Soul ties. So, I talk about my last relationship a lot because that was during the time that, God started to speak to me so much, and God was trying to prevent everything that I go through now. Like when I speak about the responsibility being so much, I'm like, it's because it's a job for two. And, me and that person, it would have never been like, mom and dad, husband and wife situation. Even though, he would say he wanted to be married, his actions was completely not that. So, I fell for that jail talk, and that's when I ended up getting pregnant by him. And still having to leave him while I was pregnant, and now he's in jail, maybe about to go to prison, I don't know. But soul ties are really crazy because literally this person, right, I just had to cut off all communication now because I realized that this person is like still so toxic, like, and he could never keep it about just his child. Like, how's my son doing? Do you need my family to do anything for you? He literally called me from jail and was like, so is we gonna get married? Like, God has confirmed to me that like it was divine intervention in the sense that God allowed him now to be arrested so that I could pretty much like break away free. Because right before this person went to jail, I was still in fornication with this person. Mind you, this was the only person that could still get me to fall into fornication. This is the only person, like, because I knew, like, I made a vow right before I started dating him. I was like, I'm going to be celibate. Like, I'm not going to be, having sex with people anymore. Not until I'm in a relationship. So, for the past 2 years, I've only been exclusively messing with this one person. Up until the time he got arrested, I was still in fornication with him. And right before he, did whatever he did, he was about to come here to my house. And, he had plans of, we're going to move in together and we're going to be together. But I'm knowing everything that I know about him. I'm like, I don't want to even entertain the thought of that relationship because it was so toxic and so bad. And I know that you're not capable of ever being what I would need you to be. God revealed to me on multiple occasions that that person would have killed me. And I'm saying that because I don't know if he would have physically killed me, but I know that spiritually he would have killed me. He would have killed me. I would have died if I would have kept, messing with him. That's what would have happened. And so God revealed to me that it was divine intervention because I was feeling like, upset at first when I found out that, he did whatever he did. I'm like, you know, that's my son's father. I'm like, he's gonna be going to jail for like a very long time. This is a serious charge. And I was down about it. And then I saw, I watched this video, and this lady was like, you know, she was dating this guy. Like, sometimes, you know, God will divinely intervene. Like, either that person will end up dead, or they end up going to prison for a long time because they were gonna kill you. And I kid you not, when she said that, I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I did not feel bad anymore. I was like, literally, it had to happen. Like, you know, whatever happens with his life, it had to happen to bring that separation, you know, between us, because the soul tie was deadly. Like, the soul tie was deadly to the point where he would still be trying to get me to, you know, get sucked into this toxic mess, and I would still be falling for it. Like, that soul tie had me fighting women, had me being ratchet, just being messy, all about somebody that was for everybody and anybody who would, you know, deal with it. And so just realizing, like, soul ties are a serious thing. And then the fact that after all of this, right, you know, now that he's in jail, he's facing murder with 3 other, like, armed robbery charges. He still was like, you know, he still wants to get married. And when I say I was not flattered by that at all, because I'm like, do you think that you are the best that I can do? Like, you asking me, do I want to marry you? You're behind bars, don't even know if you're gonna get out. Like, you was a cheater, you was a liar, you was everything that you could think of that was negative. And that soul tie, you thought that I would still want to marry you. Like, and I really felt disrespected. Like, but I really realized to a point too now, you cannot expect a dude to respect you if you don't even respect yourself. Like, because I could say whatever about him, like, you know, he wasn't this, he wasn't that, well, but I was still having sex with him. And he said that, like, you know, last time I talked to him, because I was like, you know, the fact that I was like, it's disrespectful that you would even think that I would still want to be in a relationship with you. Like, after all that you've done about all this, like, in your situation, why would you even think that? He was like, you were still having sex with me, so like, duh, I'm gonna try to be with you, like, da. And then I realized, I'm like, yeah, you so right, lady. It came back to accountability, like, you know, because we'll say all this, we got all these standards, we all this and that, but the standards to go out the window. You still giving him anything he asked for. You still, like, you know, being all of that for him when he's being, you know, nothing that you need or want in a person. And yeah, like, that accountability had to come in, because I'm like, you know, I'm supposed to be a woman with standards, a woman with, you know, that'll walk away, not, you know, a walk away, but, you know, still have sex with him, still, you know. And that just reinforces that soul tie. Like, you can't even, you know, get over the person, let the person go, because you're still being involved with them, and they being involved with, you know, multiple other people. So you getting the soul ties from them folks too. And that just go back to, like, you know, a soul tie. A person demons can become your demons. Like, so maybe, you know, before you started dating that person, you wasn't into drugs, like, you know, or you wasn't, you know, cussing as much, or, you know, but you notice that, you know, once you deal with them, you have sex with them, you know, you start to pick up their mannerisms. You start to, you know, not only talk like them, you starting to, you know, they habits start to become your habits, like, you know, because that's a soul tie. Your soul is tied with that person, and, you know, God made sex a sacred covenant. Like, you know why women bleed when they lose their virginity? It's because it's a blood covenant. So that's why you're supposed to be waiting until, you know, you've taken vows, you're married to a person, to take that, you know, blood covenant with them. We go wrong when we just use, you know, we're having casual sex, and pretty much we're just picking up all these souls along the way, and have to go and individually, each person I've ever been involved with, like, I pray to God to break those soul ties. Like, you need to say names, You know, you need to take it to God, and you need to really break them soul ties. Like, and so that's when the accountability had to come in, because you know, you would tell some heartbreak stories, but it's like, girl, what is your heart broken for? It has to come back to accountability. Like, you know, you allowed these people into your soul, into your, you know, your temple, and you gave them, you know, sex and things that was never even meant for them, because you're not even supposed to be allowing these people to come into your temple, you know, because you just pretty much show him what you was worth, pretty much. Like, your value is nothing. You easily gave it up to him, so now he looks at you like everybody else. If you don't have sex with them, they like you more. And this is just a universal, you know, law, right? Because men, they like to chase. They like to chase women. They don't like women that, you know, is easy, or, you know, that they can get. Like, they want what they can't have. So if you never want to be in a situation where you feel like, you know, you're chasing a guy, you feel like, you know, he was sweating you, now he ain't sweating you that much, how about just start to, you know, lock it up? Don't give it to him. It goes back to just waiting until a marriage, and not just any marriage, waiting until, you know, you go to God and God presents a person to you and he's like, this is your God ordained spouse. Wait until then.